Hi there. So, from time to time, we now do a recap of our products, considering there are some of you who have joined us who were not there at the beginning. And we all know Arorwet. This is actually my bottle, and I am still on my own product, Arorwet, and this seminal product for reproductive and digestive health for women. When we say this, what exactly do we mean? We talk about reproductive health because a lot of women have issues with their hormones, right? You find they come in and they say, I have hormonal issues, I have hormonal imbalance, my estrogens are too high, my progesterone is low, so I'm bleeding all the time. I have fibroids and estrogen. Excess estrogen results in the growth of ovarian cysts and fibroids and endometriosis and adenomyosis. Others come and say, they have urinary tract infection that won't go away. They have pelvic inflammatory disease, which then leads to blocked tubes, blocked fallopian tubes, and all the complications that come with having an unhealthy reproductive system. Why is it coupled with digestion? Because the digestive system really works hand in hand with the reproductive system. Most women who come to us say they are bloated, they are full, they are retaining water, and it's like very uncomfortable during their menses. And we say the first thing that will happen with Arorwet, it'll perform a digestive cleanse. It'll clean out the guts, it'll stimulate the liver, and by doing that, it'll remove excess estrogen at the right time of the cycle, because you need your estrogen at a specific time, but not all the time. There'll come a time that the estrogen must be removed from the liver. Now, if you have certain lifestyle issues going on, for instance, excess alcohol or coffee or anything that uses the liver, so the liver then has the double job of excreting estrogen and excreting all the other toxins. And if it's too busy with the other toxins, there will be not enough space for the estrogen to come out. What happens? It's recycled in. Or if the estrogen is taken to the gut by the liver, but you are constipated, then that means the estrogen doesn't come out in the normal digestive process, but it is again reabsorbed. So women with estrogen dominance, and we're talking adenomyosis, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, and fibroids, most of the time, right, are struggling with those two things, excreting estrogen through the liver and excreting estrogen out of the gut. Then we have another set of women who are now struggling on the other end, where you have women with estrogen dominance having their periods are too heavy, too much bleeding excessively until you actually feel anemic, or the fibroids have crowded the womb until like a baby cannot implant, conception does not occur. Now you have the other extreme of women who the progesterone is very low, or actually the sex hormones are converting to androgens, the male hormones. Male hormones are very high, so they have male patent baldness, usually around here. They have hair on the face like beards. They have hair on the chest. They have other symptoms, associated with the male, which includes that they do not ovulate, or their eggs become little polycystic ovaries, and that's polycystic ovaries, polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's why it's called that. So in a sense, PCOS is now, in my opinion, like the opposite of estrogen dominance. So what then Arorwet does for them is actually help them convert the sex hormones into the female hormones and help them like now stimulate fertility, make them more fertile. You see, with estrogen dominance, what we're trying to do is create an environment for whatever you have created after being fertile to thrive, which is conception. Now, for PCOS, we're trying to do more or less the same thing, but in an opposite way. We're trying to create an environment where your eggs can actually ripen and ovulate and be fertilized by the sperm. So that's Arorwet. It is made of 8 different trees, and they all perform different functions together and individually. A natural painkiller, analgesic. It is also anthelmintic, which means it's antiparasital, antimicrobial, so that all those little tumidudus in your body that have caused disease, giving you urinary tract infection, which when extended leads to pelvic inflammatory disease, which then goes and blocks your tubes, all the scarring, typically. So we then, using this product, sort of like remove or eliminate all those bad parasites and actually open those tubes, soften the scarring. So there is an element for Arorwet for softening scars, all the different scarring. And sometimes you can find your womb is matted, kind of like cobwebs and kind of like mucus, sort of like with that drawy thing that doesn't allow the sperms to pass through, doesn't allow proper conception to take place. Or at the same time, your womb is so crowded and your tummy is also so full and so constipated that you find that when you have a period, it is so painful because your body is contracting, trying to get rid of all the toxins, and it's kind of like overworking, and you are feeling pain because nerves are being impacted by all this movement like this. So what we aim to do is to give you a painless period, at the same time help you shrink your growths, make sure they don't regrow, stimulate fertility, open those blocked fallopian tubes, eliminate infections, especially recurrent infections, and create an environment for a healthy, vibrant womb.